The Indianapolis Colts are going to Kansas City, and we're going to cheer them all the way. Live from the RCA Dome, it's an RTV 6 News Sports Nut Special. Let her rip, Colts.
Do you believe this scene? Look at all these Colts fans who have come into the RCA Dome out of the snow tonight to get ready for Sunday's AFC playoff game in Kansas City against the Chiefs. The Chiefs may have had a record of 13-3, the best in the entire National Football League in 1995, but I guarantee you, no team has any better support than these people who are ready for action tonight. Over the course of the next hour, we are going to preview the Chiefs game. We're going to hear from some of the fans. Jim Harbaugh will join us live. Zach Crockett will join us live. Ray Buchanan is supposed to be here. We will give away 2 sets of 2 tickets plus plane fare to the Chiefs game Sunday in Kansas City. And we will also go to the home of the Chiefs, the seat of Sunday's game, Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, where Ken Thomas is standing by, and elsewhere in Kansas City, where our Gary Dick is standing by. Let's take a quick check of KC right now, starting with Ken Thomas. Ken, you would not believe the scene. I think we got about 7,000 people here in the Dome. It's nuts. What you got for me?
Well, right here, I'm the only person, me and photographer Joe Rodekep, the only 2 people in Arrowhead Stadium, and it is cold. But this is going to be a hot matchup, and I'll preview how the Colts and the Chiefs match up on the field. Gary Dick's having some fun in downtown Kansas City. Gary, let's go to you.
Ken, I've invaded enemy territory. I'm at the final score. The final score, sports bar, 7,000 square feet of sports bar, part of Sam's Casino, a magnificent complex on the Missouri River here in Kansas City. We're going to be coming back throughout this special show to talk to Chiefs fans, and there are lots of them here, all dressed in red. We'll get their reaction coming up. Now let's throw it back to Indianapolis and the wild and crazy RCA Dome. Ed, back to you.
Thank you. We're back. This scene is so unbelievable. Look at that. Look at that. Best fans in the National Football League. Would you believe that? Kansas City can't compete with that. These fans are unbelievable. Hey, do you folks want to greet somebody who has led the National Football League in passing this year? Who is bound for the Pro Bowl in Honolulu? Who is Captain Comeback? You want to say hi to this guy? Let's bring him out. One of the main reasons the Colts are going to Kansas City. You know him, you love him, Jim Harbaugh. Take a bow, Jim. Stand up, take a bow. Come on, come on. Well, I tell you, it's a Friday night in Indianapolis, big night of the week to go out and party, go out and socialize. What does this say? What does this tell you about this city as a pro football town, Jim, that all these people would be in here tonight?
Well, it means a lot to us as players. I know the guys that are here, Zach and Ray and everybody, really appreciate it. I know the players that are home watching on TV really appreciate this. And we're really proud of our fans, and I hope that we've given them something to be proud of this year with the Colts.
Also joining us up here on the stage tonight is a guy who's a regular contributor on our Sunday night show, Sports Nuts, from the Indianapolis Star. Let's hear it. Come on, folks, for Bill Banner.
Harmerville. Saver for Kansas City.
Now listen, Bill. We've both covered this team for a long time. You were here from the inception in 1984. Did you ever think you'd see a night where you'd see a crowd like this in here with no game going on, or a night where the NFL's best quarterback would walk out here wearing Colts colors to a standing O?
Well, this is what you hope for. This is what all of us who've grown up in Indiana appreciate. You know, I've always said, build it and they will come. They built it and they've come.
Jim, despite the fact that Zach and Lamont and the offensive line, you guys played so well last week in San Diego, I know it's got to hurt you personally and as a team. The news today that Marshall was forced to undergo surgery on his ailing left knee. He won't be available in Kansas City, and despite the fact that everyone played so well in San Diego, this guy is one of the great running backs on the planet, so it's got to hurt you as a buddy of his and also as a teammate.
Well, without a doubt, I mean, our superstar has been lost to us this week, and we know that Marshall would be out there if he possibly could, and we all just want him to get well as fast as possible. And, you know, he's meant so much to this team, so much to this city. Him being here the last 2 years has really turned this franchise around.
Who had these comments today on Marshall Faulk and his situation. Let's hear from Ted right now.
Marshall is being operated on today, and immediately after the operation, we'll know as to the possibility as to whether he will be able to play the rest of the season if we were to go on, or whether he would be through for the rest of the year. The best scenario is that he could possibly play, and the worst scenario is he would be out for the year.
Well, we talked about Marshall Faulk, and I know he may be watching tonight. Let's hear it for Marshall Faulk, folks. Give him a nice cheer. Bound to the Pro Bowl along with Jim Harbaugh, second straight year for Marshall. Get better soon, Marshall. Jim, talk about Zach Crockett's game. I know this guy is used to playing in big games. Anybody that comes from a college program like Florida State has been in the arena before in a moment like that. But good Lord, the most yards in Colts playoff history. What a performance.
It was a magnificent performance by Zach Crockett, and you know, he really gave our team a spark when we needed it, and coming in like that in a big game, it was just a tremendous lift for the whole team.
Zach Crockett, Lamont Warren, the onus is going to be on them to come up big again this week, but do you think they can do it? I think so. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with more with Captain Comeback, Zach Crockett, and the greatest football fans in the world, live from the RCA Dome. Don't you dare go away.
Let Her Rip, Colts is sponsored in part by Vincennes University, Marsh, and Arby's. It's better out here.
Continues to be one of the more amazing sights I've ever seen in Indianapolis sports. Look at all these Colts fans. And a guy who talks the talk and then goes out on the field and walks the walk just joined us during the commercial. Direct from the St. Louis Blues. It's not Brett Hull. It's not Mike Keenan. It's Big Play Ray Buchanan. Hey, Ray, you see this sea of blue people here, and take us back to New Year's Eve. How sweet was that scene at Indianapolis International when you walked off the plane carrying that win over the Chargers and you saw that sea of faces on New Year's Eve at 1 a.m. or whatever it was waiting for you guys?
Well, it was one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. You know, it was something that I couldn't believe. We had so many fans there. Look at the fans that we got now. Everybody's pretty much pumped up. See white tiles flying all over the place. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. I wish we had our own home playoff berth right here. This is nice.
There he is. Look at him, styling, strutting to the crowd. You know, Jim, take us back to that Miami game. That really seemed to start it. That started the captain comeback label for you. That started unbelievably enough, in retrospect, Don Shula on the road to early retirement. I know that's probably something you're having a hard time believing, that he retired today, but take us back to that game. I mean, if any game was a lost cause, that was it, but not for this team.
Yeah, I think the one thing about our team this year is that, and Ted kind of hit on it today when we had a meeting, he just said that we just go out and play, and we don't really worry about what the score is. We just play every play as hard as we can. And I think when you do that, when you play every play 100% and don't worry about what the score is and keep fighting, that you always give yourself the best chance to win.
You know, we're calling this whole pep rally here "Let Her Rip," because that's something that they talked about on NBC during the Charger game, that you and Ted were just saying, hey man, just go out there, be loose, have fun. I guess the meek shall inherit the earth, but not in the National Football League. I mean, that "Let Her Rip" philosophy has really worked for you guys, hasn't it?
Yes, it has. It's something that kind of just started between Coach Marchabroda and myself. He felt that when I came in off the bench in the preseason and then in the Cincinnati game and the New York Jets game, that I played a little more looser and just kind of, like he says, let it rip. And he wanted to make sure that I kept doing that as a starting quarterback and kept playing that way, play aggressively and just play my game. And it was kind of a private thing between me and Coach, and I guess now it's you got banners up here now. Probably selling T-shirts too, aren't you?
Captain Comeback's going to let it rip again this week. We're going to take a quick break, and on the way out the door, we're going live to our Ken Tomash in Kansas City. That's someplace I would not want to be tonight. I wouldn't miss this for the world. Ken, what you got coming up for us?
Well, a good case of hypothermia. Snow is beginning to fall here at Arrowhead Stadium. Will the Chiefs fall on Sunday? Well, they're an excellent, excellent football team. We'll look at some of the reasons why coming up after this break. Stay with us on Let Her Rip.
On the sideline. Colts fans, Go Horse shirts are available at all Carmel locations and downtown at the sports page in Union Station. Proceeds benefit the Methodist Health Foundation.
And welcome back live to Let Her Rip. Ray Buchanan, Jim Harbaugh, Ed Sorensen, Bill Benner, Zach Crockett, and an intimate gathering of about 7,000 to 8,000 blue-wearing Colts fanatics. What a crowd. Wow. Bill, I understand that there is a columnist down in Kansas City, a guy that does what you do for the Indianapolis Star, for the Kansas City Star, who's apparently a native of Indianapolis, Jason Halfcocked. What's his last name?
Jason Whitlock of the Kansas City Star.
And he has been writing some things that are apparently quite scathing about what he believes will be a lopsided game in favor of the Chiefs and just general put-downs regarding the Colts organization.
Well, and generally, in case you haven't seen it, we talked about it a little bit on the radio yesterday, and it was quoted in the Indianapolis Star this morning, but generally what he was saying was he was not ready to buy in to the new Colts, and he considered this still an ineptly operated franchise that hadn't really proved anything. Put the knock on Harbaugh, said he hadn't proved it yet, so he's one of the skeptics, and they're out there about this team.
I believe that this fella is going to join us live at some point later in the broadcast from Kansas City, and at that time, you people will have your chance to show disfavor with Jason Halfcock. Right now, we want to go out to Kansas City, where Ken Tomash rejoins us with more on the team the Colts will be beating Sunday, the Kansas City Chiefs. Ken.
All right, Ed, thank you. You know, the Colts and Chiefs last met back in 1990. The Colts won that game at the then Hoosier Dome. These teams, it's very different now, some 6 years later. The Colts have gone through Ron Meyer, through Eric Dickerson, through the 1-15, and now they're a playoff team. And under Marty Schottenheimer, the Chiefs have become not only a perennial playoff contender, but this season, AFC West champions. This may be Kansas City's best chance for a champion in the quarter century since Super Bowl IV. And it's not Dawson or Montana leading them, but 11th-year pro Steve Bono, who proved in the season's second game against the Giants that he was no ordinary Joe.
He was 6 out of 15 in the first half, and in the second half came back and was 23 out of 29 or something like that, and made a big turnaround. So he clearly answered that question, that he could stand up in the face of adversity.
The Colt defense will have to show Bono some adversity, but it won't be easy with the weapons at his disposal. 5 receivers with 30 or more catches, and the ageless wonder, Marcus Allen.
He's got so many different formations, and we use our running backs very well. We have 3 running backs that we utilize very well, and it's hard to defend because we give different type of styles coming in the game, and it's hard for a defense to prepare for it.
But the Chiefs really get straight A's for their D, which gave up the fewest points in the league and scored 4 game-winning touchdowns. They must slow down the NFL's top-rated passer in Jim Harbaugh, who makes as much happen with his feet as with his arm.
Well, sure, and any quarterback who can scramble and throw is a dual weapon, So we have our work cut out for us. I know me at safety, I have my work cut out for me because I have to sit back and watch him go zigzag, and hopefully he doesn't throw the ball over my head.
And don't think rookie Zach Crockett is in over his head, picking up the slack for the injured Marshall Faulk again. The Chiefs haven't seen much of him. They've seen enough.
What we do know is what he did last week, which is pretty significant and pretty impressive. I mean, he was a very pleasant surprise for them and kind of an unpleasant thing to get ready for us.
Make no mistake, Ed, this is an excellent, excellent football team, and they will also have the advantage of 76,000 some people here at Arrowhead Stadium who will be braving the cold temperatures. If this game was in the RCA Dome, it'd be a much different story based on what you're looking at there tonight. But it's going to be here at Arrowhead. It's going to be a tough one for the Colts, but I think they might be able to do it. Ed?
Yeah, nice job. Thank you very much. Back here, Jim, give us a scouting report on the Kansas City Chiefs. You guys have felt all along that you haven't gotten the respect you deserve, but for a team that went 13-3 and had the best record in the National Football League this year, was undefeated at home, I don't think they've gotten a whole lot of respect nationally either.
Well, I've watched, studying them this week on their defense, and you can see why they're a 13-3 team. They play an excellent defense. They have a 4-3 scheme. They take the ball away from the opponent a lot. They lead the league in the takeaway, giveaway column. So one thing we're going to have to do, probably the number one key, is not make any turnovers to them.
Hey, Ray, tell us about Steve Bono, who's got a chance to do something with the Chiefs that even the great Joe Montana was unable to do, and that was drive them to a Super Bowl. This guy's had a tremendous year, too.
Well, he's definitely not Joe Montana, but he is Steve Bono. He got a lot of talent out there on the football field, and the wide receiver core is very great. I mean, they don't have a whole bunch of stars, on their wide receiving core, but they are talented. They like to block downfield, and what they're going to try to come into this game with is try to control the ball with a nice running game. If they come in with a nice running game, it can open up their passing game, so they think. But we're going to be ready. We're going to be ready to play, and that's the way it's going to be.
One thing that we want to do now, we want to give some of these fans that have come down here tonight and been so supportive a chance to ask questions of these guys. And we've got time in this segment for 2 questions. Ma'am, get right up there to the mic. Give us your name and your question, please.
My name is Elsie Payne. I'm from Greenwood, Indiana. Made a special banner for you tonight, Jim. My daughter has it over here. And my question is, the women of Indianapolis are dying to know, is it boxers or is it briefs?
Jimmy.
Somehow I don't think he's been asked that one in the locker
room. You want to see?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. We're making music. Is this information that was not included in the scouting report?
I was told not to leave the microphone until I got an answer.
I don't go with either or. I mean, I got both.
Oh.
I have both. Like Deion says, both.
Well, we didn't think we'd delve into the underwear drawer, so we're not going to have time during this segment for another question, but we will get some more later. Ma'am, great question. Now, maybe we can get her a job as a correspondent on a current affair. As we go to break, we're going back out to Kansas City, where Gary Dick is with some of the fans, some of the hated fans out there. Gary, come on.
That's right, Ed. We're at the final score, Kansas City's biggest sports bar, and as you might imagine, it is a sea of red here. But I have found something. I really have found something here. Someone with Colts blue. It's a Colts fan. Come on.
What? It was an accident.
An accident? All your friends, they've left you. They're all sitting away from you. All right. Well, I like your taste. I'm tired of seeing red here. We'll be back after a while. Ed, back to you at the RCA Dome.
Take a quick break. More of this Colts mania live from the RCA Dome. They're waving boxes, they're waving
Team 6 Weather Bulletin.
Good afternoon. I'm Storm Team 6 meteorologist Alyssa Lynn. We have another winter storm clobbering central Indiana and the southern part of the state as well. This is a look at the current 8 hours of weather imagery. You can see there's snow continuing across most of the state. It has caused blowing and drifting and some closing, or at least some difficult travel on some local roadways. As a matter of fact, there are over 25 counties under a snow emergency for today. A snow emergency means it's not illegal for you to go on the roads in most cases, but if you are running into trouble, you may be ticketed and your car may be towed. Marion County is not under a snow emergency, but most of central and south central Indiana is not only under a snow emergency, but a blowing snow advisory that will last today. Only an additional inch of snow is expected down to the southeast of Indianapolis. For your current road conditions, you might want to call 232-8300 or the 800 number that you see on your screen. We will continue to update you through the early afternoon here on WRTV 6. Now we return to regular programming.
Everybody! Wow. What a scene here at the sold-out RCA Dome. About 7,000 folks who happen to wander in tonight to blow hugs and kisses to the Colts as they head into Kansas City on Sunday. I'd like to thank Captain Comeback Jim Harbaugh for coming and joining us tonight for a couple of segments and enduring some questions that he certainly never gets from any reporters, but now it's time to bring a guy out here. You know, I've been on vacation, but I think I heard this guy is the AFC Offensive Player of the Week. All he did was set a franchise record. Lenny Moore, Tom Matte, Eric Dickerson, nobody ever ran for as many yards wearing a horseshoe on his helmet in a playoff game as this guy did this past Sunday in San Diego. I want to hear it for Zach the Rocket Crockett. Oh yeah. Have a seat, bud. There you go. Just like Tallahassee, huh? Hey, what a difference, what a phenomenal difference a week can make in the life of Zach Crockett. Do you believe this?
I know. You know, it's been a great week. You know, a lot of fans and everything been coming up to me, you know, congratulating me. A lot of friends from back home calling me. You know, my family, I have some family up there, you know. Everyone just been congratulating. It's been a great week. The fans been behind us, and it's just been great.
You know, Ray, you play with an attitude, you play with abandon, and it really seemed to me that he brought some of that attitude. And I know that's a Florida State Deion thing, but he brought some of that attitude to the offense on Sunday, unmistakably.
Well, we had faith in Zach. We knew what Zach could do. It was just the fact of the opportunity to get out there and showcase his talent. We knew he had the funk, you know. He was born with the funk. So it was like, when it was time to showcase it, he put it out there on the field, and he had a good offensive line that made some great blocks for him, and after that, it was history.
Zach, I got to ask you, one carry during the regular season, no yards. What was it like to sit there and wait the entire season for your opportunity?
No, it wasn't too bad. I was always playing special teams, and whenever Potts got tired or, you know, was a little sore, I came in and relieved him for a minute and everything. So I really was out there on the field playing, and I always had to be ready because you never know when you're going to get thrown into the fire.
One thing that Kansas City will have that San Diego did not have is a complete scouting report, and a lot of time watching videotape of plays like this. San Diego had no clue. I mean, you were on them like a lightning bolt, pardon the pun. They didn't know what to do. Kansas City will be ready.
Couldn't be a better time than now to go out there and show our stuff like this here, especially in the playoffs. When you get to the playoffs, it's a whole new season. It's a time to go out there and just let everything go.
Well, you know, Ed, you know, that is the fact, he's not a big secret anymore. So they're going to be watching out for Zach now. You know, they're going to have him in his game plan. You know, last week they didn't have him in the game plan. Now that he's going to be in the game plan, you know, it's going to be kind of tough. But at the same time, I mean, that's not going to affect his athletic ability the way he's going to go out there and play, because he's going to go give his all.
And it was a big weekend. Big weekend for the Crockett family last weekend. His little brother, Henry, has a big fumble recovery.
Oh, yeah. That fumble recovery won the game for him the way I felt.
Hey, we're going to take a quick break here, and as we go to break, I want you to flash back with us to draft day 1994 when a guy, a so-called expert named Mel Kiper, had some things to say about the future of the Colts, what he felt they needed to do to become a viable NFL franchise. And then on the flip side of that, you'll hear a little smidgen from Bill Tobin, the architect of this incredible rebuilding job, the Colts president, who will join Scott Hope in our next segment. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
But to pass up a Trent Dilfer when all you have is Jim Harbaugh, give me a break. That's why the Colts are picking second every year in the draft, not battling for the Super Bowl like other clubs in the National Football League.
Some of these guys are on thin ice when they, want to slap at me. And, we'll slap back.
We're back live at the RCA Dome with Big Play, Zach the Rocket Crockett. All these guys are getting nicknames now that they're making it big on the national scene. Have you ever had a nickname before? What was your nickname?
Zach Attack.
Zach Attack.
Zach Attack.
I'll tell you, we need another Zach Attack on Sunday. I know he's primed to give one. Scott Hope from Channel 6 Sports joins us now. And Scotty has something on one of the guys who is not with us tonight, but who has had so much to do with building this thing brick by brick and building it pretty darn quick over the last year or so.
I think there's a very good omen for the Colts coming up on Sunday. Can anybody tell me what Sunday is besides the game day? This is the second anniversary. 2 years ago, Sunday, was when Bill Tobin was hired as the vice president of the Indianapolis Colts. Now, this guy has really come in, and whether you've agreed with what he's done or not, he has really taken some drastic steps to build this program. And I had a chance to sit down and talk with Bill Tobin a little earlier this week about some of the changes he's made with this Colts and how far they've come in the last couple of years.
Well, we've made a lot of changes. We made a lot of changes beginning with our coaching staff, our personnel staff, and then a lot of changes on the field. And I thought the ones we made were necessary. When I took the job, we were about $8 million over the salary cap. So we had a lot of players that were very handsomely rewarded for 4 victories. And that had to change.
A couple of drafts ago when there was a lot of talk about who the Colts were going to take, everybody remembers the incident with Mel Kiper.
To me, it's a mistake. You cannot go with Jim Harbaugh and pass up Trent Dilfer. Forget it. That's why the Colts are the laughingstock of the league year in and year out.
Mel Kiper has no more credentials to do what he's doing than my neighbor, and my neighbor's a postman, and he doesn't even have season tickets to the NFL.
Is it almost a personal vindication for you in saying, not quite, I told you so, but close to that?
I think maybe in past years, anybody could take a swing at the Colts and nobody ever swung back. And we changed that in one little segment there on draft day.
Who in the hell is Mel Kiper, in a way? In my knowledge of him, he's never ever put on a jockstrap. He's never been a player. He's never been a coach. He's never been a scout. He's never been an administrator. And all of a sudden, he's an expert. He's in our papers 2 days ago telling us who we have to take. We don't have to take anybody that Mel Kiper says we have to take.
You told him that day, and certainly this year, and even last year to a certain extent, the Colts have spoken those words on the football field.
I think everybody here wants to succeed. We got very, very few selfish people. We have team oriented. This is a team game. It's a team sport. And when you're all pulling in the same direction, good things happen. And if you win, there'll be enough credit to go around to everyone. It's not a one-man show here by any means. Jim Harbaugh is a prime example. It's easy for him to say what he says on a regular basis because he believes those things. He was brought up right. And he's seen the top of the mountain and he's seen the bottom of the valley. But he's a very, very strong competitor. And we've got a lot of Jim Harbaughs in that locker room.
Would you like to someday, whenever the time comes that you move on, whether it be retire here from the Colts or move to another team or what have you, would you like to be able to someday talk about the Colts in the same way that you talk about the Bears now?
Well, we had a lot of great people up there. We were very fortunate in Chicago in that our best players were also our best people. And that's the blueprint that I'm trying to put in this organization. And so far, I think it's working to a degree. It might take a few more years, maybe it won't. We've still got possibly 3 games to play this year. And we're not conceding anything in this 96 postseason play.
You know, Ed and fellas here, I think I asked Bill what the most pleasing thing about this year has been for him, and he didn't say the fact that the Colts are in the playoffs or that they've won 9 games or now 10. He talked about the character of the guys on his team, like Zach Crockett, like Ray Buchanan, and I think that speaks well for these guys and the other guys on the team.
These guys have character, and they also have some characters. Hey, we're going to take a quick break, and on the way to commercial, Sean Dawkins talking about respect, something in the NFL that must be earned, and that's what the Colts have been doing. Here's Sean.
NFL, ESPN, I watched it all, and everybody just really counted us out, downed us, saying the only reason we got into the playoffs is because we played the Jets twice, and here's looking at those people. We're going to Kansas City.
Sorensen down here with about 5,000 to 8,000. Let's make it an even 10. I'm not sure, but we got a whole mess of Colts fans under the dome. Ray Boo, Zach Attack. I have no nickname. Just call me Ted. This is Bill Benner. And also joining us on the stage now, a guy who is known far and wide as the voice of the Colts. Let's hear it for Bob Lamey. Bob and Mark Herman and the guys at WIBC doing a great job this year covering every exciting Colts game on the radio. Bob, if you were going to pick a year to come back as the voice of the Colts, you couldn't have picked a better one, could you?
Well, Ray told me last year to come back because he knew it was going to be a great year. So I figured if he knew, I should know. So I came back.
Take us through this. You're known as a guy who bleeds blue and white. I mean, you love the Colts, and that's one of the parts of your approach to the broadcast that people seem to really enjoy. This is a team that has just come from seemingly insurmountable odds and a slow start to get to a point where 2 more wins, and we're going to the Super Bowl.
It's been incredible because you have to go back when this team was 1-15.
Oh, yeah.
They had lost 13 straight games, and they were the laughingstock of the league. And the building process began. Everybody's talked about it, but the real basis of this team is the camaraderie in the locker room. These guys like each other. They pull for each other. They won't let anybody get down. They've had some real bad situations this year, down 21 twice. They come back and win both ball games. If you want to call a bad game, the Oakland game, but there's a touchdown where there was 2 holdings on the touchdown, and nobody called him on a kickoff return, that could have negated that one. They're the only team in the AFC that didn't lose a game by 14 or more points.
They've been in every game. Yeah. And the day I knew this bunch was for real, and I want to get to this tape, the day you put Steve Young out, you did, and you guys took the San Francisco 49ers, the Super Bowl champions, and dominated them in the house. That's the day I knew you were here.
I think actually that was like the tempo set up for the rest of the year because the way the guys were acting before that game, if we had any other chance to get some respect, we had to get it from the San Francisco 49ers because they were, Super Bowl champions plenty of times. And once we went out there and accomplished what we did, we knew that we can go a long way with the Indianapolis Colts.
Zach, very quickly, you played at one of the great collegiate programs. You walked with your head up because you were a Knoll. You feel the same way now about being a Colt?
Most definitely, I feel the same way. As they said, the closeness in the locker room, you just feel it from everyone. Everyone's pulling for each other. One player, I have your back, you have mine. It's that type of feeling in the locker room right now. You can't beat that, and the fans behind us. Hey, you got to give you all credit. Just love everywhere.
Earlier, I said that at some point in the show we were going to go to Kansas City, where this columnist who's been bad-mouthing the Colts was supposed to be on live. Well, we're going to go to Kansas City. We're going to take a shot of a restaurant out there right now where many of their fans have assembled. But guess what? Mr. Big Shot columnist didn't show up. And we'll go to Kansas City anyway live and hear from some of their fans after this timeout. RCA Dome. A couple more segments to come and let her rip. Big plays, Zach Attack, Ed, Bill Benner, and the voice of the Indianapolis Colts, Mr. Bob Lamey from WIBC. During this segment, though, we're going to go back out to Kansas City. I don't get to leave until 7:55 or so Sunday morning. That's when I'm flying out. But Gary Dick has already been out there for a couple of days. And Gary, I tell you something, if those people with you were here, you wouldn't even notice the red. You wouldn't even notice it.
Good. Hey, that's great. That's great news. I tell you what, it's great to hear all that excitement back in Indianapolis. There's been a little bit of excitement here in Kansas City for the Chiefs. Not much. Too much red, I'll tell you that. We're at the Final Score, which is Kansas City's biggest sports bar. It's been red all night, all year really, and they're banking, I think, on a win this Sunday, huh?
Yes.
Why are you so confident?
Because we're number 1 in the NFL.
Okay, all right. Okay, number 1 in the NFL. Whoops, excuse me, ma'am. Sir, I know you're an opinionated guy. I saw you over there talking up this Sunday's game. What are your thoughts? Everybody I talk to in town says the Chiefs going to win.
Chiefs are going to win by 10. They're the top team in the NFL right now. The best. Nobody's going to beat them.
Why is everybody so confident?
They're a good team all around. Defense, offense, special teams. They're the greatest team. They're going to be the best.
Now, what's this red stuff? You've got a hat on. Everybody here's got red on. I have not seen this much red since the last time I was down in Bloomington.
Red Friday. Everybody wears red on Friday.
All right.
For the Chiefs game.
Your prediction is Colts by 10?
No, the Chiefs by 10.
I thought I'd trick you on
Colts.
that.
No Colts.
You know, we thought we were going to have Jason Whitlock, the sports writer who's been trashing the Colts down here, on tonight. We're looking around. Is he here? All right, hurry up. Hurry. Jason, hurry, run. He did make it. Jason, how you doing? You're the man of the hour.
Man of the hour.
They've been talking about you in Indianapolis. You've been trashing the Colts. Now, come on. What's up with that?
I think everybody in Indianapolis is aware that the Colts have been, in the past, the most ineptly run sports franchise in America. And it's hard for me to take them seriously. I grew up in Indianapolis. I think it's hard for people in Indianapolis to take them seriously. If I understand right, you didn't sell out the last 2 games, and you're making a playoff run. They put 78,000 people in Arrowhead Stadium every week.
Now, how about Jimmy Harbaugh? You've been down on Jim Harbaugh.
Come on now. He's got a track record. He's had a nice year. I can't take it away from him, but I think he's been lucky. I don't think he's as good as he's played, and I think he'll find out Sunday that 4-leaf clover he's been carrying around is going to drop out of his back pocket, and we'll see the real Jim Harbaugh.
All right, we'll see you on Sunday, but we appreciate you showing up, Jason.
No
Thank you very much, Jason Whitlock from the Kansas City Star. Let's send it back to where there's some real excitement back at the RCA Dome.
You know, it looks like Jason wouldn't have a whole lot of time to write between servings of ribs out there in those Kansas City steakhouses. I'm going to give Ray Buchanan the last word in this segment. Respond to that.
Well, everybody can sit up there and talk. Everybody can give their notions about the game, actually. But, you know, the players are the ones that's going to be playing the game. And when we out there on the field, it's not going to be a lot of hype. It's going to be let the best man win. It's going to be us playing against them. I mean, we can sit up here and talk about all the hype, what we're going to do. The sports writers can talk about what they're going to do. But actually, who's going to be playing the game are the players. The players are the ones that's going to go out there and determine the game.
Zach, you know, much has been made over the years of articles like this guy wrote. They say it's great locker room material, but at this level, the stuff like that, I mean, you guys are so good. You don't need that to motivate you, do you?
Oh, no, we don't need that anymore. We just got to go out there this week, play a physical game. It's going to be a fist fight. And I hope everyone's going to be watching it. I know I'm going to be watching from behind. We're going to try to bring a victory back here. Let's go, Colts fans!
When we come back, 2 lucky fans are going to win trips for 2 to see the Colts beat the Kansas City Chiefs. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Let her rip. 8,000 fans, that's what they're saying. Roger Brummett is here with us. He's the president of the Colts fan club, the Thundering Herd. Let's hear it for Roger.
Thanks, fans. You're great.
By the way, the Colts thought so much of your efforts on their behalf this year that they blew up one of the covers of your Hoofbeats magazine and made this for you.
That's a great cover. That's a playoff cover. Hopefully there's going to be 3 more covers like this one, all right?
Now, Roger wants to tell us about a big trip. Apparently, you still have some seats available on this trip.
Well, I don't know. I've not talked to Leo. Leo's out there. We may have a few trips left on the trip Sunday, so some of you fans, you want to join us. We're going to give away a few trips here, but any minute now we'll give away a few trips, and then if we have some trips available, you're welcome to come out and sign up. I think we had about 30 trips when we started.
There's the number, 1-800-587-9795, 1-800-587-9795. If you're interested, $470 a person. Now I would like to ask 2 of the lovely Colts cheerleaders to come out. Could you reach down in there and fish around and draw out the name? All the people that came tonight registered when they came in the door. Roger, why don't you go ahead and read that particular winner?
Susie Johnson from Greenwood, Indiana. Where's Susie?
Susie Johnson, you have won a pair of tickets and round-trip airfare to Kansas City. All righty.
There she is.
Could you do it?
Where is she? What a lucky dog.
There we go. Roger.
There she is.
Bobby Pruitt from Indianapolis, Indiana.
Bobby Pruitt and Susie Johnson and their friends will be going to the Chiefs-Colts game courtesy of the Thundering Herd. Roger, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks to Channel 6 and Mars Supermarkets for putting this together. This is fantastic.
We'd love to do some more of these before the season's over. Thanks, guys.
You.
Now, if we could move this and the big box here, we'd like to get a couple more comments before we leave. Come on out here, Bill. Bill Gladish, everybody, our floor director. There you go. Okay, we've got 1 minute, Ray. Let's go right down the line. Your thoughts on Sunday's game?
Well, I think it's going to be a heck of a game. Everybody should tune in. I think it's going to be something that, that we never felt before, the fans never felt before. And we're just going to go out there and let it rip like Jim Harbaugh. We don't have nothing to lose. We're going to go out there and just play to the best of our ability and just let our talent show.
Zach, real quick, buddy.
We just got to go out there and play a gung-ho game and very physical and just go out there, give it our all, 110%, and come back victorious.
Thanks to Big Play. Thanks to Zach Attack. Thanks to Captain Comeback. Thanks to Bill Benner. Thanks to the voice of the Colts, Bob Lamey. Thanks to the cheerleaders. Thanks to the Naptown